Can I join in too? The mountain is awash with specters.
Did the foraging party really come this way?
That would explain why they haven't returned.
Did you feel that?
It's close.
What? Did you feel that?
It's close.
Picking up something spectral nearby. Is it just me or?
I felt it too.
Help us, please. We have a survivor. Come.
This one's not been dead long.
Let's hope he stays that way.
If the map is correct, the treasure must be hidden nearby. Think you could take on a ghost? Get the hell out of there!
Hurry! She's being overrun! Come on!
Now this place looks like the drop.
The treasure must be hidden nearby. According to our map, the treasure can't be far.
Efficient than cannon powder.
Sebastian! I don't know how long I can keep this up.
Help is on the way.
Come on! Come on! My bolt is shot!
Behind you!
Think you could take on a ghost? Don't let that specter get to the corpse.
You sure you're not hurt?
I'm fine. A timely arrival. You'll be Haskell's Banishers. Thank you. Thank you both.
You can see me.
Clear as day, just as I can see. This is my husband. I am Helen Priest.
Antea Duarte. This is my partner, Red McGrath.
It is rare that the living can see the lingering dead.
All I know is one day I woke after 7 long years of grief, and my Sebastian was back. It was as if my prayers had at last been answered. That was enough for me.
In times of danger, I am duty-bound to protect the woman I love. You understand?
7 years. Why come back now?
It did not feel like 7 years. Suddenly, I felt her pain calling to me.
Divine intervention or otherwise, all that matters is that my dear Sebastian is back. Now, when I need him most.
Andrew White sent us. He thought you might be in trouble. Plainly, you needed your guardian angel.
We needed more than one. Thanks to you, we'll resupply the camp. Matthews and Williams did not die in vain.
This was a risky expedition. But Helen had no choice. If the survivors were to rely on Pennington alone, the fort would have already fallen.
You're well capable of fighting the living, 'tis clear. It was reckless to think you could take on the dead.
We have lost many of our comrades. We measured the risk. It was not reckless.
Pennington did this while monsters relentless besieged the fort. But make no mistake, these men's deaths are on the captain's conscience. If he has one.
How so?
7 years ago, a plague came to New Eden. Pennington quarantined the sick in the mines, walled them up. They were dark times. Hard times. None knew what the morrow would bring. We all lost much. Too much. As second in command, Sebastian volunteered to stay. Walled in with the others, he held out the longest. He died a hero. And now the Forsaken are rising. They demand revenge.
Who would blame them? I watched them die. Soldiers and miners, sick and hungry, begging for help they knew would never come.
Captain Pennington has much blood on his hands.
I'm sorry. You've been through a lot.
We have. We are, and will persist till we prevail.
We should get back to the fort. We will escort you.
I'm afraid I locked us in when I broke the latch.
If there's a way out, we'll find it. Shall we?
Impressive. You Banishers are quite something.
That's all her. I'm just the help.
A Banisher marched with my father's infantry. Looked from around, he said.
Soldiers usually carry their ghosts with them. War is good for our business.
I take it that's how you met. I know a soldier when I see him fight.
I never worked for the army, but something like that.
We'll come back for you, my friend.
Our sympathies.
This for 2 miserable powder boxes. How low has Pennington brought us?
If you didn't like him, why did you follow him?
I followed his reputation, but he's no longer the same man.
What would you do in his place?
I'm doing it. He sits behind his walls waiting for them to fall, and I'm out here fighting to live. We're fighting for our lives. The captain is in the way.
These internal conflicts are a risk for the stability of the fort.
A necessary risk for the survival of all. But I agree. This must end. You may leave the crates. I'll send someone back for them.
Yeah, the path should be quiet. We cleared the area of the Spectre's nest.
That's a relief. Follow me.
White! Open the gates!
Priests! What are you lot waiting for? Open the gates!
Go talk to Pennington. Make him understand, if you can.
Where can I find him?
He hides in his office. You'll find him there.
Where are the others? Williams and the other chap?
Matthews, we were ambushed. They fell.
May God have mercy on their souls.
There's ammo in the elevator. Send Shepard and Abbott to bring it back.
Captain Pennington.
No time, no way out, no hope, no way in. No time at all.
Captain Pennington, sir.
Mr. McWraith, you live.
There's work to be done.
Work? You had work. A mission. To bring one last glimmer of hope. To gladden our hearts before the pit takes us all.
You secretive bastards haven't helped.
The job is done. There's no more hope and little enough time. All that remains is the pit. Welcome to the last stand, McWraith. Welcome to the end.
I wouldn't surrender just yet, Captain. I found Helen Priest. We brought supplies.
A waste of effort on both accounts.
Hardly. We saved a life. Resupplied, you may save more.
For the sake of what? For the sake of days, a week perhaps? You've saved no one. You've prolonged the terror. The dead will come. Our throats will feel their bony fingers soon enough. The end is inevitable.
The people man the ramparts, ready to fight.
You sound like Priest. She has changed. Her return to Fort Jericho has made her impulsive, irrational, quarrelsome. I believe she did not fully grieve her husband's loss. Returning to the scene has, it seems, reopened the wound. It festers. She'll join the lieutenant soon enough. When our defences crumble at the last, the pit shall take us all.
How do things stand, Captain, as you see them?
Little has changed. The dead flood from the mines. We shoot them down and gain respite. Soon, the onslaught begins anew. The clock of our extinction ticks on towards the hour. We may no more defeat the dead than we may vanquish the ocean waves.
Folk have little enough hope, and you're leading them further into the darkness.
I've heard the whispers, the murmurs, the plotting from the shadows. We hold till the last. We resist, till retribution rises from the pit and drags us all to hell.
Well, that's something worth waiting for.
I fail to see the appeal of this slow agony.
How unfortunate. Because thanks to you, and the time you bought us, the agony will be all the slower.
Permission to take my leave, Captain.
And if I refuse it?
Are you trying to recruit me, Captain? Do you really think I'd take the King's shilling?
If I were to offer enough shillings, I'm sure of it. I need no new lieutenants. But if you wish, you may stay. This key unlocks the unused watchtower. You'll bill it while you're here.
On the one hand, a captain beaten by the world. On the other, his rival, haunted and mutinous.
In a fort besieged by vengeful spectres.
Behind all the shit, there's something else. Something darker.
How often must we argue?
We shall argue until you...
I hear you all too well. I hear a hoggish harridan, a narrow nag, a selfish shrew.
One of these days, I shall poison your soup.
And the day before, I'll take you to the highest cliff and push you off it.
Now, Mr. Peabody, I shall drain the first boil. Ready?
Same sodding question every sodding time. No, I'm not damn well ready.
Excellent. Then we'll begin.
Be careful, goddammit! Careful! Ah!
I know. I know. Shh.
Who the hell are you? Queen Mary Stuart?
Well, I've met Mary II, and she's a little prettier than I. I'm Red McCraith. I'm a banisher.
The banisher come to gloat at sick old Cotton Peabody. Well, piss off. There's a sudden stink of death in here, Scotsman, and it ain't from me.
What's the word around here?
No one tattles to me stuck in here. Captain came by once, worried for Andrew White. Seems the old boy screams in his sleep.
There's a lot of it about. White's a gate guard.
He sees ghosts in his sleep. He's dreaming. Real ghosts come when you're up.
As you were, Mr. Peabody. See you about.
Not like I can go anywhere anyways.
The store. Ferdinando's? Closed. Are we in the right place? Anyone home? No one.
Papers in Miller's name. We're in the right place.
Keep looking. He's making protective amulets.
He's making useless trinkets.
And he works hard to keep her away.
What is he afraid of? What don't we know? Let's search the store.
Vardy reads English extensively.
Well, nobody's perfect.
He's organized.
Disorganized traders lose money.
What is this?
A sansa. It's a musical instrument. It's Bantu, from southern Africa. Spectral traces around his bed. Rebecca, I presume.
This may explain the wreath. Stock to trade. He hasn't unpacked it.
Maybe he intends to move on. And who could blame him? Surprisingly high quality wares.
Can't be many. He's doing surprisingly well for himself.
Where did he get the inventory?
Rebecca's will. She was rich. She left him the lot.
That's where he got the inventory.
Aye. The list matches his sales record.
Touch my money and I'll drop you. What are you doing here? Thieving, no doubt.
I'm no thief, Mr. Miller. I'm the Banisher. I brought Helen Priest back to the fort.
A banisher? Thieves lie. How do you know my name?
'Tis my business to know. Red McCraith.
If you are a banisher of ghosts, I have business for you. I'll pay.
Aye. I know about Rebecca. It was she who sent me to find you. She worries for you. Says she loves you.
The English have a word for that. Hogshite.
If not for love, why did she bequeath you her fortune?
Whichever. It matters not. You're a banisher. It is your job to get rid of her. Can you not just do your work?
Easy, Mr. Miller. Now, I'll need to examine Rebecca's belongings.
I sold them. All of them.
You did? To who?
I don't know. People. I wrote it down. In the register. Read it, if you wish.
2 recent sales, to the blacksmith and to Ingersoll's store.
You've put quite the effort into protecting your home, haven't you?
You poked about my house without my say-so.
I know my business. So out of generosity, here's the truth. None of it works. Not the wreath, not the amulet. None of it works. Pretty, though.
His brooch is working.
It works. She hasn't come back. I can sleep now.
Ah, the visits in your sleep.
Yes, the visits in my sleep. I hear her calling, whispering my name. I wait to find her at my bedside. Our eyes meet. She stares. She won't leave me alone. She's an Akishi, a demon. Banish her. I'll pay you.
I need a job. I accept. Farewell to you, Mr. Miller, sir.
You know where to find me. If you're buying, I'm selling.
Ingersoll's store and the blacksmith. Noted.
He'd sold it all. Everything she'd owned. And fast.
Is he wiping the slate clean and moving on?
If we track her things down, perhaps they'll tell us.
A note?
Let's see.
Ferdinando was a slave. She was his owner.
He wants a clean slate. Tabula rasa. We know where to go. The barrack room.
Pretty. The work, I mean.
We know where to go. The barrack room.
Nurse wings.
An echo from the past drifts by. The quill resonates. An echo, perhaps.
I only recognize my name in the list.
Distant family, but I can't disinherit them.
I would never ask you that. To have met you is already more than I ever expected. If I was to lose you, God forbids, I'd cherish all that reminds me of you.
If you were to lose me, all that I own would now be yours.
He claimed not to love her. Why lie?
Maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he pretended to love her.
Let's see what he has to say about it.
Banisher?
I found papers. Official papers. They tell quite the story.
That's all in the past. For the good of my future. But you may as well hear it from me. As she lay dying, Rebecca Hardgrave gave me my freedom. Before that, I was her slave.
How very romantic.
If it weren't for the captain, the good people of New Eden would have let me die too.
Rebecca was in love with you. The feeling was not mutual. True?
I was her pet. A dog nuzzling its master, hoping she might loosen its leash. She loved me, she said. I allowed her to think I loved her back. I sat up and begged and let her pet me. I was a very good boy.
You gulled her, then took advantage.
To a slave, a crumb of freedom tastes like a loaf. You'd have done no different, and I'd do the same again. Enough chitter-chatter. Perhaps you should get back to work. What am I paying you for?
I'm a banisher, Mr. Miller, not a rat catcher. Ghosts were human. They're emotional, full of hopes and fears about the past and the future too. To find out what ties the ghost to the living and end the haunting, I must know the story. You want me to finish the job? Then the story must be told. The ghost must manifest.
I do not like this idea. This idea can shit itself 6 times by sundown.
Come on, break the brooch and let's get it over with.
No choice remains. Let it be done. And I'll be done with it!
Vardy, you're here at last!
Step no closer!
I don't understand. Are you not glad to see me?
Now, Banisher! End this!
Not now. You need to hear the truth, both of you. That reminds me. Rebecca, you omitted to tell us that Ferdinando was your slave. That you owned him.
I loved him.
I was a slave! I was not free to leave. What kind of love is that?
What are you saying? We loved each other.
Love? No. I told my master what she wanted to hear. I gulled her with a lie. I thought you a fool. But no, you believed me because you wanted to. Yet you didn't believe me, did you? Not entirely. That's why you never freed me.
I loved you, and you loved me. It was but a piece of paper. A piece of paper and a guarantee. I needed a guarantee.
You don't know what love is. You know only fear. You feared being undesired, being unnoticed, being alone.
How very human of you, Mistress Hargrave, but hardly an excuse to own a man.
Time to give this love story an ending. Ferdinando Miller, the world forced you into a lie. You lived it to the full, and in the end it brought a haunting upon you. You are the tie that holds this ghost here.
No! Leave him be!
She's a ghost. Get rid of her. Wait. No. Banisher?
Rebecca was in...
She loved you to a slave?
How...
If it weren't enough...
I'm a banisher, Mr. Miller, not a rat catcher. To find out what ties the ghost to the living and end the haunting, I must know the story. You want me to finish the job, then
I do not like this idea.
Come on.
No choice remains. Let it be done. And I'll be done with it!
Marty, you're here at last!
Step no closer!
I don't understand. Are you not glad to see me?
Now, Banisher! End this!
Not now. That reminds me.
I loved...
I was just...
What he said.
Love! I thought you...
I loved you, and...
You don't know what love is. You know...
How very human.
Time to give this love...
Rebecca Hardgrave, your love for Fardy Miller is sincere but unwanted. You're hurting him. Let him go.
Is it wrong to wish to spend your life with the man you love?
You did spend your life with him. Now your life is over.
He was mine. I wanted to keep him. Was I wrong?
You don't own him. You can't own him.
Let go. Find peace.
Peace? She gets peace? After all she did?
I get peace, but you get your freedom. I was wrong. I'm sorry, Fardy. For everything.
You have no more reason to stay.
She deserves no peace. She put me through hell. You don't care, Banisher. Just one more mad master in a madder world. What do you want?
Farewell to you, Mr. Miller, sir.
Don't hurry back.